Good afternoon, everyone. Just coming back from our closed session. Can I have a counselor make the following motion, please? Counselor Randawa.
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that the council come out of closed session at 12:26 p.m.
Thank you. Call for the vote. And that's carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll take our lunch break and come back at 1:15. Thanks, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Just coming back from our lunch break here, and we are now going to be spending the next couple of hours in debate and/or just looking at some items that council may want to debate and have some conversation around. Council, I guess the question I would like to propose onto the table for public conversation is to debate how you want to debate. And so my thought was perhaps what we could start with is I'm wondering if we go department by department. So my thought was we work with capital here this afternoon. We will continuing on with operating tomorrow. Start with capital here this afternoon, and I'm wondering if we can quickly, with the assistance of Legislative Services and our CAO, simply make a list of, are there ones where all of council is currently, yeah, that sounds like something we're going to need to do. And then if one or two councillors are, I don't know if I want to have that, then we have that as a second list and then start the debate after. So I'm suggesting going department by department, and then we know the ones that are just going to be there, and essentially just start a list of which ones we want to debate and then circle back for debate. There could be debate about the debate, but I'm wondering if you are in agreement with that, then we'll just keep going. If maybe you have a comment on that, I open up opportunity for a comment. But again, just to be clear, I'm suggesting we create two columns. Column one being that all of us on council are going, yeah, that's probably a thing that's got to be in there. And then if there's something that one or two or all of us would like to debate, we add that in a second column. We don't do the debate right now. We're creating two lists. Then we'll come back to the debating list and start debating as we go. Does that work for everybody? So as an example, I'm going to suggest that we start with IT. And in looking at IT, the very first one that I have is hardware and cybersecurity refresh. And so I would propose that this seems to be one that we have to do to not have us at risk of cybersecurity. So I would put this on to the, it stays in the capital budget for 2026. Would anyone like to debate whether or not this is staying in the capital budget for 2026? Fantastic. Okay. Well, we're one for one. And we'll end there, end on a winning note, and see everybody tomorrow. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. Asset digitization project, additional scope for $415,000. Is this one that council would like to debate? Okay. Third one is first arriving applications and TVs. So this one is a $1 sign. So the first arriving applications and TVs for myself, I would like debate on this one. Okay. So can we add this to the debate? Thank you. So, yep. And thank you to Lead Services. We're kind of building this plan as we're going here to figure this out. And so they're doing a great job with that. So thank you to Lead Services for your help with that. Hardware upgrades with a $1 sign. I am suggesting that this, I'm going to say the project. If anybody wants to debate it, then speak now. And if no one says they want to debate it, then we'll just add it to the list. So hardware upgrades. Okay. And body cam expansion replacement. Okay. And private 5G. Councillor Grant.
I would like to have debate on this one.
Thank you. Mr. Edney, did I get all the ones for IT? Mr. Edney?
Through the mayor, yes, you did.
Okay, so I think that's what I'll do is after each department, I'll just turn to you to make sure that we got them all. Does that work? Okay, process good for everybody? Okay, Mr. Redney, I would also ask, while I trust my note-taking ability, in case I have missed something, if I say one that has already been moved to 2027, could you please just highlight that? So, sorry, Ledge Services, can we add a third column? And the third column will be moved to 2027. Sorry, thank you. While they're doing that, Councillor Schindler.
Just speaking on this particular one, did we not move body cam to the CPO budget during this deliberation, or this these presentations that we had?
Mr. Redney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. It doesn't matter which budget it's under because IT is ultimately going to make sure the project happens. So it just happened to have been already presented in IT, but we don't do like a department by department capital budget per se. So
Okay.
to your point, it is a CPO item that same as the first arriving TVs is really a fire item,
Right.
but it's under the IT budget because they'll be responsible for implementation.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments, questions with regards to IT? We're just giving Ledge Services a quick moment to... Yep. Absolutely, I can. Okay, so hardware and cybersecurity refresh is stays. Asset digitization project stays. First arriving applications and TVs goes to projects for debate. Hardware upgrades stays. Body cam expansion stays. Private 5G goes to projects up for debate. Good. Thank you. So again, just confirming, Mr. Redney, we got them all? Thank you. Okay, so facilities will be the next department. Ledge Services, we're going to go to facilities. Okay, so the first one I have on, from what I am looking at is, I'll just give Ledge Services, let them catch up. Thank you. Rec Center land prep. Councillor Schindler.
I would like to put this up for debate.
Thank you. Com ops land prep. Councillor Grant.
I'd like to debate that, Mayor.
Thank you. Rental space for City of Chestermere Community Services. I would like to this one for debate, please. Rental space for, I would just put rental space for CSS. Yeah. Property management, city hall, air balancing remediations. Great, thank you. Ledge Services, do you have a copy of the document that I'm reading from right now? Could we quickly get them a copy? Because then they could just follow along on that with Mr. Redney. Okay. Yep. Okay, we'll keep going though. Property management, city hall furniture, staff growth requirements. Okay. It's not me. It's Josh. You made him type twice. Oh, sorry, Councillor Grant.
I'd like debate on that item, please. Thank you.
Now I will say, oh, never mind. Chain link fence with barbed wire for land south of PW. I'm going to suggest this one has to be up for debate since we're debating the other item. Okay. City Hall weatherproofing the basement. Okay, that one stays. Fire panel, RCMP fire, Councillor Grant.
I'd like to debate that one, please.
Thank you. CPO office renovations. I have a note on this that this one could be pushed. Mr. Edney, do you recall? I thought the CPO office renovations could be pushed based on some of the presentations that we had seen. Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. Yeah, this was based on the larger discussion around looking at all of our office space and what can we do with it in every building.
So, okay. So should it be under debate or should it be under move to 2027? Mr. Edney? Mr. Edney again.
Yeah.
The
I know there's
sorry, go ahead.
there's a need for the CPO space, and it's a little bit different than, say, the City Hall space. Like, there's only so much space over there. I think it's something that should stay on
Okay.
for this year, despite my comments of looking at the larger use.
Yeah, I thought it was just a staff sergeant who said that it could be moved. That's what I just thought I recall him saying that, which is why I personally had that note. Mr. Fluker?
Mr. Mayor and Council, there's two competing actions here for space,
Okay.
basically, but depending on timing, we should do something for the CPOs. However, I think our future discussions here may alleviate the need to do this if we can create more space in a timely fashion. So right now, they can live with what they have.
Okay, so because nothing's finalized, because we have to do a lot of voting and debating, I'm going to recommend we leave it in the move to 2027, but administration may come back with some reminders in our final two budget meetings that we have coming. Fair? Okay, thank you. HR new office. I would like this one for debate. RCMP second and third floor construction, planning and conceptual drawings, Councillor Grant.
I'd like to have some debate on that one, please.
Thank you. Okay, for facilities. Do we also want a list if there is something in a department that we want to add? That was something I forgot about, and the reason I'm thinking of it is there's something I want to add on here. So if we were looking to have a possibility of having something added, would this be the time? I would suggest that anything that's a suggestion for adding would go under to be debated. Just, Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. Yeah, I'd put it up for debate and then somehow highlight it, whether it's bold or italicized, that it's not currently in the budget.
I really don't want to make a fourth column for you, so you just want to
Just put it in the projects up for debate, but then bold it or highlight it or do something so that we know it's not a project currently in the budget.
Okay, so I would put up for debate. I would put City Hall parking lot. Okay, Council. Anything else? Good, Mr. Edney. I think that's all I had for facilities. Is that correct, Mr. Edney?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Okay, fleet. So for fleet, we had CM 026 100-ton press. Okay. And 2-post lift. Mr. Fluker.
Just before we get too far down the road, with regards to the RCP second and third floor concept, can we just add into that additional parking at that location because it goes hand in hand?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Council, anything else for fleet? Great, thank you. Parks is the next one that I have. Okay, so while Josh is getting going here, playground and amenities life cycle replacement program. Playground and amenities, Josh, not parks. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Splash Park. Councillor Sandbo.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'd like to debate that one.
Thank you. Benches and gazebos. Okay. Gateway signs. Okay. Public art. Councillor Sambo.
Thank you. I'd like to debate that one as well.
Thank you. The next three I have as moved to 2027. So I have PK 177 half-ton truck replacement is 2027. I had new half truck 2027. And I had PK 203 two-door dump box replacement 2027. And I believe we heard the same today when Mr. Blair presented. I'm seeing nodding from administration. Good. Okay. Half-ton crew 2-cab pickup. Okay. Crew truck PK 046. Heavy trailer towing truck. Okay. PK 152 John Deere track mower. And ledge services, I'm just kind of watching the list and the mic, so I'm going too fast. Just press your mic because I'll probably see that faster. Aquatic lake weed skimmer. Councillor Grant.
I think we should have some debate about that one.
Agreed. PK 088 tree spade replacement. Thank you. PK 287 fertilizer spreader replacement. Good. Colton Court final tie-in. Good. Regional pathway asphalt repair. Okay. Bridge inspection and repair. Okay. I had a note here about pedestrian green spaces, but I'm trying to recall what that conversation, because I think we were having a conversation about like where people are walking and dealing with those. Nobody recalls. Can you make this a new project, pedestrian green spaces, please? And I may crush it immediately when we get to it. It just gives me a chance to go look at my other notes that I had. Okay. All right. We got lots of green here. So starting with Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. There was a discussion during James's presentation that there was a 30-foot trailer that was missed on here for $1 sign.
Okay.
I'm just going to get Director Fluker to confirm with James what that project was. I don't know if anybody remembers him talking about it, but I didn't make enough detail on my sheet. I apologize.
Where is, do we remember what page the parks presentation is from today? Anybody know quickly?
I can get it for you quickly.
Because I think you're right. I think it was in 100.
115.
No, that's recreation.
118.
Yeah, I have. Oh no. The heavy trailer towing truck was on there.
And this one he talked about, this is the amount he talked about
Yeah.
during his presentation.
Let's ignore that one for now
Okay.
because we can always bring it back at some point if it was something we missed.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Randawa.
If I'm not wrong, I think for the recycled ash oil one, we were having a debate.
No, that's that's a different one.
That's a different one.
That's a different one.
Thank
Yeah. They're going to be under roads for that one.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else for parks for capital? Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. I asked this question before, Mr. Edney, on the appropriate spot to budget this unstructured recreation, i.e. skating loops, skating ponds, recreational pathways. Is this the right spot for that to live under the budget?
Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. To Councillor Grant, I guess the question is what...
Sorry, Mr. Edney, is it mostly operational? I guess that would largely be an operation. There will be capital, I'm sure, a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's operational for us to come back with some ideas and then a request for budget if there is something. So I know the team's working through that.
Sorry, I want to ensure that there's capacity within this budget to facilitate what we feel. I think council has demonstrated that this will be a priority investment. So I think we should leave at least some money in here so that we're not having to just come back later to add it in.
Yeah, I have no idea what that number is.
Fair,
I don't know if it's 10 grand, 100 grand,
fair.
probably neither one of those, but I think that's the challenge from my perspective right now.
Understood, thank you.
So in staying with this process, I'm going to suggest under parks as a bolded item, unstructured recreation projects. With no definition, no debate, just that way it's there. Good? Okay. Good? Okay. Anything else under parks? Good. Roads. Condition assessment for concrete. I believe this one's up for debate. Not even up for debate, we're just taking it right out probably, Mr. Edney.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. That was moved to 2027. So
Okay.
was the raised crosswalks item.
Okay.
It actually was moved to 2028 because we have money in the budget right now.
Okay. Concrete life cycle replacement program. Thank you. Okay. Traffic light upgrade for emergency vehicles. I would like this one up for debate, please. Crosswalk lights. Thank you. Condition assessment for road services. Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. Is this a contracted service? Is that what we're? I'm wondering why this is a capital instead of an operational expense.
Mr. Edney.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. So generally when we do some kind of study or assessment that ultimately leads to a capital project, then it becomes under a capital item, but that's a good question. I'd have to get just to look a little more detail on exactly.
Do we leave operations as just our day-to-day operations? And if this is additional work that's going to give us information?
Yeah, so I think that the difference is we have a bunch of things in our operating budget that are master plans and things like that that just broadly reflect the community. I'm assuming this is in the capital budget because it's going to lead to direct capital work on roads in specific. But I may have to get you some more information on that one.
As long as we're just operating under the same understanding, it's just an accounting preference, I think. So.
Correct.
Okay. Everybody's good? Okay.
Do we need to debate that one? Sorry.
If you want.
Why? My question.
That's why I assumed that's where you were going when you hit your mic, because I know that's been something you've been talking about. So, Councillor Grant?
Thank you, Mayor Dean. I think my question mostly was around, is this in the right spot for it? I did hear the comments from our presenter before about collecting this information and storing the data, and I'm willing to go down that road. So I am open to leaving it.
As a capital budget item?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I would... No, don't take it out yet, because I want to debate it. I want further clarification, and because debate, I think, also is seeking some further clarification. And so, like I said, I think the idea is right now is I see this as useful work, because in a minute we're going to have a whole list of things we don't even got to talk about anymore, because they're a proposal. Now, they're not approved until we do that, but we're setting up tomorrow, I think, for some success. Okay, new crew cab pickup truck. Okay. PW 127 2013 Henke reversible front plow. Okay. And the pressure washer replacement. Thank you. Okay. That is all I see on here currently for roads. Is that Mr. Redney? Do I have the complete list?
Yep.
Thank you. Council? Good. Okay. CPO. Replacement patrol SUV. Patrol boat. Hey, council. All 5 of us lit up. Can you put this up for debate? Every mic lit up. That was awesome. Sorry. Okay. E-bikes. Councillor Randhawa.
I would like to have a debate.
Thank you. 2 laser speed measurement devices. Okay. And CPO thermal drone. Councillor Randhawa.
I would like to have a debate.
Thank you. Any other? That's all I had for CPO. Yes, I'm seeing nodding from Mr. Edney. Any other comments, questions from council? Can you under project? Can you scroll up for me for a second, please, Josh? All the way up to IT again. I apologize, that wasn't very clear. Can you go back down to CPOs? Under the CPO budget for stays in 2026 capital budget, can you please just make note of body cams in IT budget? I think that speaks to what Councillor Schindler was speaking to. So it's capturing the IT, but we just know that it's supporting CPOs. Good? Everybody good? Okay. Okay. Fire. So new fire station 117. Okay. Tender FD005 upgrade. PPE equipment, new staff. Mr. Edney.
That was moved to 2027.
Okay, thank you. Self-containing breathing apparatus. Thermal imaging camera. And that is all I have for fire. Mr. Edney? No. Oh, order FD020 engine equipment. Sorry, Mr. Edney. No. Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to discuss the Fire Station 117. I'd like to have some more information or discussion about what is actually being contemplated to be purchased here.
Okay. And then, so then it's order FD020 engine equipment. Okay, now I think I have all the fire. Mr. Edney saying yes. Council? Good. Okay, utility. Under the utility, I have life cycle replacement, solid waste collection vehicles, and storm utility vehicle. Yeah. So both, I think, it looks like they're staying. Nobody said it. Nobody suggested otherwise. So I seem to remember, though, was there not more capital projects for the utility, Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. There's a whole separate sheet on just the utility. These are the municipal capital projects. We'll go back to yours. That'll relate to just the utility. The way we do it now is we buy the vehicles in the city. So there's a separate handout that we'll have to go over for the utility company.
Okay.
And then we need to jump up to the top for CGI.
Yeah, I realized
Yeah.
what I did after was that I just left out Mr. Chattahooch's projects. So he gets nothing for 2026, which is great. You'll have a very easy year, like nothing to do. It'll be fantastic. Okay, so we'll go back to CGI. Because there's just one for the golf course. Okay, so we'll start with CGI since Josh already has it here. So CGI, Chestermere Boulevard, 2-lane rural to 4-lane rural. Mr. Edney.
Yeah, so there were two projects that were moved forward that probably aren't on the sheet you have. They're project 001 and 003. The first one was Chestermere Boulevard and Station Way connection. That was the right-of-way coming off of Chestermere Boulevard somewhere by Jiffy Lube. Preserving that right-of-way. And then there was the roundabout at West Chestermere Drive and Marina Drive just down the street here.
Okay, sorry. So you're just jumping ahead before I go through the list? Is that what we're doing?
Oh, sorry. Just on the larger list, those end up ahead of these. Sorry.
Larger list, those end up ahead. Oh, I see. Right, but we're not doing priorities right now, right?
No, I just mean in the way the project numbering and etc.
Ow.
goes. Yes.
I see.
Yes. On
Gotcha.
the sheet you have, my apologies. We're looking at different sheets. What you have in front of you is only what was originally presented just for 2026. I have the whole 10 years in front of me.
Did you just admit out loud that administration and council are not on the same page at the moment? Is that's what right? He said we're looking at different sheets. Is that Mr. Edney?
They call these career limiting moves, but I think council's not on the same page as administration.
Oh, there we go. It's good. I like it. Okay, so no, we'll go. Okay, so Chestermere Boulevard Station Connection. I'm sorry. I'm saying that out loud now for council. Is that one you want to leave or have debate on? Okay, so
have a budget number for it.
Councillor Grant.
Or we do have a budget number for it. Sorry.
Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. I think we should debate that as that number was not included in our original
Thank you.
2026 budget.
Thank you. West Chestermere Drive to Marina Drive roundabout. Councillor Grant.
We should include that for the same reasons.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. Redney, now we're on the same page where I'm going back to what I have in front of me. I have a thumbs up and away I go. Okay, so with administration and council back on the same page, we will go to Chestermere Boulevard 2-lane rural to 4-lane rural. Okay. Chestermere Boulevard 2-lane urban to 4-lane urban bridge over Chestermere Lake rehab. Okay. OSL item Chestermere Boulevard 4-lane rural to 4-lane urban Marina Drive to West Chestermere Drive. Okay. Range Road 284 upgrade recycled asphalt. Councillor Randawa.
I would like to have debate on that.
Okay, thank you. And high school site readiness. Okay. Mr. Edney, do we have everything for CGI now? Mr. Edney.
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Okay. Now we'll go back. Final one then I think is the golf course. Okay. Okay. Golf course says initial capital improvements. Correct? Mr. Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. I think we should have that as debate.
Agreed. Okay. Mr. Edney, does that cover all of the capital projects for 2026? Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Medine. Yes, from the municipal side.
Thank
Still
you.
be the utility company projects.
Right. Okay. So, going back to council now, I see a couple of different ways of doing this. So now we have what we are proposing stays in. Things could still change, but we're proposing what stays in. Projects up for debate, just for the municipal side. So we have a couple of things that we could do. We could do the same process as we just did for the utility, or we could almost do a similar process for the operating budget, if you wanted to do that. Or I will call to question debate on first arriving TVs. And I guess would the motion be to remove first arriving TVs from the 2026 capital budget? Would that be the motion that we would then debate, Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Medine. So this was, that would be the right way to do it. We've presented these as projects. They're in the budget.
Yeah.
Now would be to move them out.
So anything,
Unless it's one of those two that it was added, then it would be an add to the budget.
okay. Councillor Grant?
Thank you, Mayor. Would we be able to tackle more than one item per motion? Just for efficiency's sake, can we put a motion forward to debate all capital projects that are up for debate?
Problem then is, the only problem I see with that, Councillor Grant, is then we start severing.
Sure. Okay, so can I offer a suggestion to just do it by department then? Or do you think it's going to get too detailed there as well?
I think it's too detailed. I think we just go one by one.
Okay, thank you.
It's going to be a lot of motions, I understand, but because you don't want to make a motion to leave it. The motion would be to remove it, right? And so if you vote yes, we're taking it out, and if you vote no, it stays in the capital project. Correct? Yeah.
So,
Councillor Grant.
thank you, Mayor. We couldn't state both and then just leave the motion as we're only approving one, and
But then you start to sever, right? So then somebody would have to go in and sever the motion.
Is it severed, or can you just give direction to both in, like, can you give direction in the motion opposite ways? Can you say, this is what we're debating, this one's passed, this one's not?
No, because, no. I see what you're saying. No, you can't do it that way.
Thank you.
Okay, so, I'm going to say how I feel, and then we can see if people agree. I think we should start on projects up for, I don't know. Council, do you want to do the same thing with the utility? Do you want to do the same thing with operating, or do you want to start to debate the items that we have on projects up for debate? Which one of the three options would you like to proceed with, Councillor Grant?
Thank you, Mayor. I think the utility, at least in my opinion, is probably pretty straightforward, pretty easy. The funding is from the offsite levy model. I personally don't have any concerns that I can recall. So to me, it'd be low-hanging fruit to take care of the utility.
Oh, I see. So your suggestion would be to not go through the painstaking process we just did. Your suggestion would be to offer up to council, is there anything within the utility budget you'd like to see removed? That's your suggestion. Otherwise, we just leave the utility budget as is. Okay. Then I will call to question. Mr. Edney, I think that would work. Mr. Edney?
Yeah, that works perfect.
Okay.
Because most of them are OSL funded projects anyways, and I would suggest if the team brought them forward as needing to do, we should go ahead and do them.
Thank you. So, to council, I call to question. Is there anything that you would like to have added as an item for debate from the utility budget? There you go. That was easy. Okay, then I'm going to suggest we take a quick coffee break, kind of reload the waters and the coffees, and we will come back and do some debate for the final hour of our meeting here. So we will come back at 2:30. Thanks, everybody. Good afternoon, everyone. Just coming back from our break. Just had a quick conversation here on the break with our CAO, and I think there's a suggestion that to bring forward to council for the debate items would be the idea of involving our managers who presented in those conversations as well, in case there was any kind of an update. So, Mr. Edney, do you just want to speak to your thoughts with regards to looking at the projects that are up for debate, Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. Appreciate the sentiment. As we discussed, I think there's quite a few projects in here that myself or one of the directors sitting here could address with council, but there's a few I think that could use the respective manager being here if council were to make a decision. Everything that's brought forward by administration is something administration believes needs to be done. So if something were to be cut, I'd be remiss to not have the manager at least have an opportunity to say, hey, but here's what the impact or the change or something like that would be. So maybe it doesn't have to be every single project, but respect that when maybe a few come up, we could delay them till tomorrow or the following Tuesday, just to book managers to come.
Okay, thank you. Well, I also think too that there are items in the operating budget where we could do a very similar process as what we just did. Are there items within the operating budget? Because I think that there are some items for clarity. So to not even necessarily have the conversation, but again, to look at setting that conversation up for success. So I'm wondering if, even though the presentation that we had is extensive, 206 pages, doesn't mean we have to go through all 206 pages again. I'm literally suggesting that we skip ahead to each slide. So I'm looking at, for example, I'm looking at golf course budget. And on golf course budget, there are I see 3 items: equipment and vehicle lease, contract and general services, debt repayment. So what I'm suggesting is I'm wondering, do we want to go through the exact same process? And then that would then give Mr. Edney time between today and tomorrow to set his managers up accordingly who need to be here. It also could mean that we could have some debates today, because some debates will only involve our CAO or our Director of Growth and Infrastructure or City Ops, those sorts of things. So, Council, would you like to go through a similar process right now for operating budget? Sorry, the options are go through the same process that we just did for operating budget, or start debating the capital budget items that we had. Councillor Grant, which would you prefer?
I would like to abstain.
Okay. Councillor Sandbo?
Your worship, I would prefer to debate capital items.
Okay. Councillor Schindler?
I mean, it seems prudent to help administration get organized to do the operating budget.
Okay. Councillor Randawa?
I would like to have debate.
Councillor Grant?
Thank you, Mayor. To give administration the time they need, let's do operational, please.
Oh, good. I wouldn't say it backfired. I should have just made the decision to begin with.
Just know whatever you decide, someone's going to be better.
Well, that's called, it's called being a mayor. Behind the scenes, there was a comment that was, no matter what your decision you make, someone's going to be upset. Yes, yes, they are. I would like to go through the operating budget. And we still might get back to some debate on capital budget, because I do not think that this is going to take as long. So for operating budget, I think all we need to do is simply make a list of items for debate. I don't think we need the 3 categories necessarily for this one, because I think we can rip through it. Because I think some are just, there's not much we can do, so to speak, right? like on the personnel side of things, it's more difficult for us, so to speak, right? Like I think this is going to be quicker, Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. I may have put my light on a little too soon. I was going to say the biggest impacts to the budget, of course, are the personnel asks.
True.
Aside from, I think, maybe a couple things that you might have. But I like your process. Let's go through it, and then I can give council some updates tomorrow or later in this session.
Same 3 columns then.
Yeah, there's no real move. Well, yeah, I guess if it's personnel, it could be a move to 2027. I would personally, so the operating budget is hard to go through line by line the way we did, right? Because, you know, it's more, do you want to address some of the specific type of projects? For example, the library came and asked for additional funding than what is in there.
Yeah.
That's something that should be addressed. I think the personnel ad should be addressed, and council may have a few more items in there to address, either to make sure it's in or to discuss taking it out. So
Okay.
I don't know what the best approach would be.
I have a different idea, and since y'all are gonna make me tie break a vote anyway, I'm just gonna throw my idea out there. We'll start it and away we go. So, to your point, I think what we should do is just make a list of items for debate within the within the operating budget. So number one would be budget ask for library. Right? So, Councillor Schindler?
I just had a thought. So we go through the operating budget as you're saying, and very similar to what you're doing, but we can just list the departments that we want to take a closer look at instead, because I think there are departments that we're not necessarily going to change on their operating ask, but like we can just put RCMP, and then we can have those people here to talk about that
Right.
budget,
Yeah.
and that'll expedite this. And then we're ahead of the game.
But I don't think for library we're bringing anybody back.
Right. We can just put library, and then we can put like
That's right.
the RCMP, and then these are the departments that we're looking at. There's a
Councillor
lot
Grant.
here.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm wondering why we're bringing the manager back when we just had the manager present everything in the operational budget just Friday. Thursday. So what I'm saying is people have new questions arising out of the operational budget.
Let's go see what the questions are first and go from there.
Thank you.
Right? Because I don't necessarily agree that for the operating budget, we necessarily need the manager back. Capital budget makes sense. Operating budget does not make sense. Right? Right? Now it's a numbers game. We know what the ask is with regards to some RCMP, and we have some RCMP questions. I do not think we need the staff sergeant here to clarify that. We know it's clear, right? And so forth and so on. The library, really the debate is we funded them for $500,000 in 2025. We have currently in the budget $600,000, and their ask is $750,000. And so we have to land somewhere between zero and whatever, right? That's the debate, right? I don't think we need library staff or board members here to have that debate. That is now ours to own, right? So I'm not suggesting, I don't think we need to bring people back necessarily. There might be a specific one once we know what the question is, right? Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I agree. I think these are largely level of service conversations now between council on do we feel service is being adequate or should it be supplemented? So I agree with your sentiment.
Okay, so because there's kind of some different binders, different notes and things like that, I think what I'm going to suggest is we kind of go by department. So, golf course. Does anyone see anything with regards to the golf course that's going to be needed to debate from an operating standpoint for 2026 for budget? I would like to caveat my statement with there's going to need to be lots of debate and work that is done on the operating model But, Mr. Eddy, maybe if you briefly just want to touch on the difference between operating budget to get us going in 2026 and the operating model that we are working on developing. Mr. Eddy.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. I think you captured it pretty accurately. There's an operating model that we're going to work on through 2026 that will come to council probably multiple times to make some decisions on that may or may not have some future budget impacts. The budget currently presented, as I mentioned during presentations, is a net zero budget. The intent is whatever revenue the golf course can generate gets put back into the golf course, not just as operations, but then as small capital improvements that the budget can handle. That's being handled by the general manager over there, myself, and then our internal consultant to make sure we're monitoring what all that money is being spent on. And again, we'll bring back reports for council, similar to we do with any other variance report.
Okay, great. Thank you. So does anyone see anything operating budget golf course? Okay, corporate services, community, people, and budget. I would like to have some discussion around the Rocky View bus. So community and people budget, Rocky View bus. Sorry, yeah, page 44. I also would like to have debate around rentals and leases. So community and people, rentals and leases. Anything else for community and people operating budget? Okay. Community support budget. Okay. Parent and caregiver budget. Okay. Charity programs budget. The question I had about charity programs budget is what I don't see captured. So charity programs budget, this is gifts of kindness. Is that correct, Mr. Edney?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So what I don't see captured in here is I would love to see a report on, I'm not sure how to go about this, but we invested a lot of money into this program in 2025 via the golf tournament. Has all of that money been spent since June of 2025? What's the carryover? Where's that sitting right now? What do we have? I would love to know. I would love to have some further information about our gifts of kindness operating.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. I think so. This year's budget is the typical in and out, assuming we get $25,000 in donations to gifts of kindness, similar like the golf tournament where it's just a rounded number. We can bring back a report. I'll talk to Acting Director Sheedy and then Manager Brar about bringing a report of where gifts of kindness is at, including that addition. That addition wouldn't be a budget item for this year. It'd be a carryover from the 2025 budget, if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't, because gifts of kindness, charity programs budget, revenue, contribution, gifts, donations, 2025 says 63,394.
Yeah, because that would have been the original budget that was approved back at the start.
So
I
we
don't
didn't,
think that includes the money that was sent to Gifts of Kindness. We'll have to come back with a fulsome report from CSS and from accounting on that one.
now, given the time of today and the start time of budget meeting of 1 o'clock tomorrow, is that possible to have those numbers for tomorrow or no?
Yeah, we can do our best. Ruby's just teamsing me right now that last year's included the United Way, which got moved to one of the other budget departments. So that's why the 25. But this Gifts of Kindness, we'll have to see what we can do for today to bring back for tomorrow.
Sure. I'm just wanting to account for the golf tournament. Where's that money? Where did it go? How's it being carried over? What's happening?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. The finance budget. Okay. Finance staffing requests. Okay. Human resources budget. Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. This kind of ties in with what we're talking about here, and it's a little bit of a tangent, but I do think that we need to talk about the utility and about the staffing of the utility and whether that should be included in the municipal operations or whether it should be brought completely separate.
Sorry, can I interrupt you just for 1 second?
I'm just looking at the utility clerk. That's why
So you're going back to finance staffing requests?
that's what you just said, didn't you?
No, I went on to human resources. You were slow.
That was quick.
So-
Okay.
Utility
Sure.
clerk.
I'm just talking.
Thank you.
And I don't really have a statement or a motion to make here, but we need to have that discussion at some point on what are we actually doing.
So I asked this question during that presentation about it being under here, and was told that it had to go under here. And then I know that there was some brief conversation around that, but I do agree with Councillor Grant in terms of like how that is accounted for and the positions that are within the city, those within the utility, how that works with the utility, that conversational piece. Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. So how the utility works is the utility itself doesn't have any direct employees. So there's no employees of Chestermere Utilities Incorporated. All the employees are employees of the city of Chestermere. And then their wages, if they're 100% of their work goes to the utility, get charged to the utility 100%. If it's 50%, it's 50%. In theory. So this is something that Director Mach has noticed, and I knew just needed somebody to get in here. When the original motion was made by council back in, I think, 2018 to dissolve the utility company and bring it in, a number of transition agreements were set up, and that's why they're called transition. So there was a point where it was expected that all these employees would move under the city, and then the city would, in the transition period, bill the utility back. Well, it's going on 8 years later, and none of that's actually happened, and we're still operating under those transition agreements. So right now in the budget, those transition agreements with just an inflationary value have been added in. But the larger project, which will take us a little bit more time than just right now for this budget, is to go through and make sure that every position that we've hired for the utility is captured and being paid for by the utility. If that makes sense. Same with the rental of the trucks, fuel, insurance, maintenance, all that kind of stuff. We just haven't had time in the 2 months that Grayson's been here to get through that level of exercise in time for this budget presentation.
Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mr. Edney. And yes, I understand that's the situation that we're living under right now. My comment is more of we are in some sort of quasi-hybrid model that I don't know if it's done elsewhere. And I think that there's a fundamental question that we need to decide on what we're doing with this utility and how we're going to handle it moving forward.
Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Grant. I didn't get to my wrap-up slides, but that was one of the fundamental things I was going to ask Council, is that decision of to either keep the utility a separate company and then we talk about how we operate that, or to continue on with dissolving it and bringing it into the city, which then becomes a different exercise.
Councillor Sambo.
Thank you, Your Worship. In that case, is that just a line item to add here for the operating budget items up for debate? Is the utility?
I think so. Well, there's a final slide that's coming, but I think so. So I would say utility transition agreements. Is that too broad, Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. So I just heard Councillor Schindler on the side. So I've got a number of things on the wrap-up slide that I've asked council to consider, but don't necessarily need to be part of the budget approval process. So we're not going to solve the details of how we operate the utility in the next week, but we can have the philosophical, we being council, with my input, can have the philosophical discussion around how do you want to operate that utility going into 2026. Right now, we're assuming we're running it the same way it's basically been run the last 6 years.
Okay. Okay, I think we'll leave it as utility transition. Okay, good. Human resources? Yeah, okay. Sorry, human resource budget. Good. Health and safety budget. IT budget. The only one that I had under IT budget is Mr. Edney. Any subscription that we have is all through IT, or do some departments have their own, what I would consider like a IT subscription or a subscription that would be outside? So, for example, if we order things through Amazon, does the city of Chestermere have its own account, or does each department have theirs? And how do we follow that process, even in terms of a amount that we're buying, cost savings perspective? So are we confident that all of the leases that we utilize are captured underneath of IT's rentals and leases? Mr. Edney.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. So I think when it comes to like Amazon itself, I think there's 2 or 3 departments that have separate memberships, one being events, one being the purchasing department. And I don't know if it's us, charity, or somebody else that has one to order. So that type of small $100 subscription is accounted for in the department's budget. What's in IT is the Microsoft licensing, Muniware, like all of the larger corporate-wide initiatives that way. And I would say 99.8% of them, I think you happen to pick the one, surprise, surprise, that isn't under the IT budget, because it's not really an IT function, if that makes sense. It is something that we're looking at from a procurement and purchasing perspective to consolidate, if needed, that function, and to make sure it does go through the procurement group to make sure we're following procurement practices for it. Everything gets signed off by the person who ordered it, the manager, the director, and myself. You usually see them. So is that a long answer? Mac can provide you down to the cent of every item that goes in that subscription number if you'd like to see it.
Yeah, so my question doesn't really have to do with my question just comes around efficiencies in all areas, right? And when it comes to, so I'm not concerned about procurement. That's what I was thinking of. I'm not concerned about procurement policies. I'm confident that we're following all the proper procurement policies. Yes, while they may be small subscriptions, I don't dispute that as a fact. I do wonder about when it just comes to things like efficiencies, can we not just have accounts that are the City of Chestermere accounts that all the staff use, instead of 3 different departments having an account with the same company? Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. We can look into that. I apologize, my memory's fading me right now, but I've had that discussion with departments, and there was a logical rationale of why I believe we have 2, maybe 3 different accounts and there was a rational reason for it. I just don't have it in front of me handy right now.
Okay. So then I would like to see IT leases as a piece for debate. Because again, nominal or not, we are responsible for every dollar that we spend as a city because it's not our money. And as we look for efficiencies, whether they are big or small, these are things that I would like us to continue to be exploring and looking at. Okay. Anything else from IT? Thank you. Communications budget operating. Okay. Community engagement budget. Councillor Grant.
Add that item to the discussions. I'm not sure which one in particular. Just in general, I think.
May I assist?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think that there is some confusion with regards to council involvement from a details perspective with events and the execution thereof and feedback and all of those sorts of things. So when it comes to community engagement, I don't think the idea ever has been that more is better. It's what are we doing within the things that we are already doing and how can we find efficiencies and improvements thereof. So for example, a proposal that I would be bringing to the table as a motion would be, I would actually be recommending to council that we've already made a motion to do essentially a community engagement / events workshop in January. My suggestion to council would be, and I would even be comfortable doing this today if we wanted to kind of send a clear message, but I'm also okay with holding off. I don't want to hijack our process that we've been on. My recommendation to council would be for community engagement that we actually approve the same budget that we approved last year, allow planning to begin on the projects that have been started, and then change possibly the budget after we have the workshop in January is my current suggestion. Because I don't know if we necessarily want to have that entire conversation and debate right now as part of budget, because some of it isn't a budget conversation. And so I don't want to hamper our community engagement team from booking the fireworks like they had talked about, booking some of the things that they need to pre-book in advance. The budget would give them the opportunity to be able to go and do the things that they have been doing. But with the understanding, though, that we are wanting to have a further conversation about a more comprehensive strategy that team, I don't know if we're going to have completed before we have to approve an initial budget between now and December 16th. Which is why, again, my suggestion would be we actually approve the same budget as last year, and they have something to work with, to start with, and then we proceed forward. But Mr. Edney, I invite comment on that.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. My only suggestion would be to make a determination on the ice fishing tournament. It wasn't in last year's budget. If it's not something council wants to go forward with, then we'll have to stop preparations for that. If it is something you want to go forward with, you could approve last year's budget and add that in as a line item.
Yes, thank you. I believe that council has received an email with a more detailed description of that tournament. I will admit I have not had opportunity to review, so I don't know if I want to do that until tomorrow. I will ensure that I have that email read for tomorrow. So maybe for community engagement, beside there, I would just put events and have that as an item for debate for tomorrow. But showing my cards, that is a suggestion I intend to bring forward to council with regards to what we're doing for the budget right now. Okay. Anything else with regards to community engagement? Legislative services budget. The only I wanted to follow up, Mr. Edney, on a Councillor Sambo.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think I might be about to ask the same question you were about to ask. There was a question, or there was a comment, Mr. Edney, about an offset for a position. Do you remember making that comment? And is
Yeah.
that included in this budget?
That's exactly where I was going, Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Councillor Sandbo. So the change between 2025 and 2026 was when the 2025 budget was brought forward. In 2024, we had 4 positions in legislative services: manager of legislative services, senior advisor, and then Josh and Emily's positions, legislative assistants. When the senior advisor was promoted to manager, it moved forward as only one position. And so the senior advisor position ended up not being captured in the budget, even though it's a position in the org chart that is vacant right now, along with the manager of ledge services budget. So it's back in the budget to better reflect what's already been approved previously under previous councils for the structure of that department. I think my comment was related to, we're in the recruitment process for the legislative or the manager of legislative services. We might be able, if we wanted to find some money somewhere, leave this senior ledge position vacant for 2026 and reevaluate it for 2027.
Well, and there was also conversation with, we are not only having that position currently available, we also have currently available the position for intergovernmental relations. And depending on the skill sets we find, there might be some crossovers that start to happen in some of those worlds, right? And so that's the offset, right? And so, but how do we identify an offset, Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. So I think that was my request was if we cut the senior ledge position and we find an intergov person, I got to come back now for the senior ledge because you can't just transfer the manager, if that makes any sense.
Right.
So I think the discussion was we'll leave it in.
Okay.
And then by the time we come to final budget, we'll have clarity on what those positions look like and then can make some changes if we need to.
But how do we make note of that? How does it, to Councillor Grant's comment from a few hours ago, how does it not get lost in the ether? How do we make sure we don't lose track of that?
That's what you have me for.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Good. Okay. Any other questions with regards to the legislative services budget? Okay. Community growth and infrastructure building inspections budget. Building inspections budget. Okay. Building staffing requests. Okay. Data services budget. Okay. Projects and procurement budget. Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. I'd like to have a little bit more debate around the staffing of the project and procurements for upcoming capital projects. I just want to make sure that that's all aligned, that we actually have more capital projects and maybe a little bit of discussion on what they do as part of the capital project.
Thank you. The note that Ledge Services just put there, is that captured for you? Okay, good. Okay. Development budget. Okay. Compliance officer. Okay. Economic development budget. Councillor Schindler.
I would like to debate this if possible.
Absolutely. Okay. Engineering budget. Engineering staffing requests. Councillor Randhawa.
I would like to have a debate for the staffing, please.
Thank you. Planning budget. Okay. Common services budget.
No, that's just the title.
That's the title, and then they start. Yeah. So, but I was confused. Common services. Can you, Mr. Edney, quickly define again what the common services is, Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. Common Services is the administrative functions over in the Community Operations Department. So we have 3, 4, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I guess executive assistants, administrative assistants for roads, fleet, parks, answering phones, responding to requests, that kind of thing. I won't list their names, but you know who they are sitting at the front over there.
Okay, thank you. Facilities, common services budget. Councillor Randhawa.
I would like to have a debate because it's big number difference. So, and yeah, I need to.
Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. What would you like to debate in it? So the 0 to 296 is just how staff was allocated within the budget process. I don't think we can debate existing staff. I mean, you can go down that road if you'd like, but I don't think that's your intent.
No, that's not my intent.
Okay.
Councillor Randhawa.
No, that's not my intent. I just want to understand as well where we move how, because it's 2025 is 0 and then 2026 is big number jump. That is strike me.
Mr. Edney.
Yeah, I can get you the detailed answer. I know Kylie mentioned it this morning, but it's already slipped my mind too.
Okay. Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm looking at the facility common service budget here, and again, I'm looking at the debt repayment. Is that something we want to add? But then again, this also goes back to my last question of, should that be in capital?
Mr. Edney.
So, thank you, Mayor Dean. No, I don't think that the debt repayment itself doesn't go under capital. I just haven't had a chance to look at it, but I do have a detailed email from Mark and from Kyle on how all of that different debt repayment got together. So I can have that for you tomorrow.
Okay. And they don't relate
better
to
report.
capital expenditures, they relate to operational expenditures?
Even if they relate to operational expenditures, we pay the debt out of the capital budget or the operating budget,
Interesting. Okay, thank you.
unless it's an OSL funded. So like, for example, as we move forward, if you take on debt as council to fund our portion of the rec center, that gets paid out of the operational budget. The part you may have to take on for the offsite levy gets paid by the offsite levy.
Okay. All right. Sorry, personnel expense and debt. Good. Okay. Facilities budget. Councillor Randhawa.
Yeah, I would like to have a debate on that, please.
Okay. Again, is there a specific that you're looking at with that one?
Yes, because this one has some rental facility as well in the contract and general services.
So you want to talk about the contracted and general services?
Yeah, because it's included rent space for across the suite in this one. No? It was saying. Okay.
Sorry,
Which
so
one
what do you
is
think is included, Councillor Randhawa?
The rental space across the suite? CSS. Yeah.
So you think the CSS rental is in this one?
Yeah, because
Mr. Edney, can you speak to that, please?
No, it isn't. It's, there's no rent in this particular budget. Right? Contracted in general services. I'll get you the comments here. I can answer a lot of these comments on the fly too here. These are in the sheets that are in your.
Okay. Okay, makes sense. Got it.
So you want debate on this one? or
No, then leave it.
No debate.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. Facilities City Hall budget. Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Wow. We just lit up quick there. Okay. Councillor Sambo.
Thank you, Your Worship. Actually, through you to Councillor Rantawa, I'm just going back. It's actually in community and people, that space rental, if that's what you were looking for. So we've passed that one, but that was, I made that note that $48,000 was largely that. I think the comment you heard from the presentation was in 2025 under the facilities budget. That was budgeted, but not this year. This year. So I just wanted to give you that information in case you wanted to bring it forward.
Okay. Councillor Randawa.
For the facility, the city hall budget, I have only the question on that one. And the number is the big difference for 364 to 256 is adding up from previously or what? Because number, when we see line by line is matching, but the total is a difference.
Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Merdine. The total in 2025 is a typo.
Okay,
I apologize.
thank you.
Okay. We good? Mr. Edney?
Yeah, thank you, Merdine. Just for clarity, there is no rent in the 2026 budget for the space across the street. That'll be dependent on council's decision on that capital project.
Okay. Okay. Facilities City Hall budget. Mr. Edney? No? Okay. Facilities RCMP budget. Councillor Sambo.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you to Mr. Edney. I'm sorry, I really need clarification on that because I have this $48,000 under community and people budget for the rental space. I just want to make sure I'm understanding your comments.
Mr. Edney.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. Just give me a quick second here, because a full year of rental over there is $96,000. So I'm not sure where 48. Let me just look. It's under which budget, do you believe?
Community and people, page 44, 45.
Community and people. Which is it? Page 45?
That was the note I made during the presentation, is that was for the new space. I may have gotten that wrong.
Page 45, community support budget.
Sorry, it's 43 on the digital slide deck. Yeah.
Community and people budget. Yeah, I'll have to circle back on you what that is. I'll have to talk to Ruby. If that is the place across the street, it shouldn't have been in there.
Okay. Thank you. Facilities RCMP budget. Okay. Facilities Parks budget. Facilities Fire budget. Land development. No, never mind. Recreation budget. I think that there's going to be debate on this one. Yeah. Okay, so just add recreation budget. I think we can leave it general for now, council. Okay. Parks budget. Councillor Grant.
I think we should debate this because I think is there any increased level of service or is this just additional parks, Mr. Edney?
Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. So this particular part of the budget, there's no change really from last year. All the things are just increases in wages, et cetera, from union. It's the next page, I think. Parks seasonal. One more. This is the one where I believe there's a request for a change on actually the next slide. Oh. It didn't end up in there, but there is a request.
For the pest management?
There's the pest management, and then is a request, I believe, for 8 more
Seasonal employees.
seasonal employees.
Yes. So let's add that, please. To that one. Park staffing.
Yeah, my apologies, that got missed in the presentation.
Okay. Good. Okay, that gets me up to roads budget now. We good? Okay. Roads budget. Okay. Fleet budget. RCMP we've already added to the list for conversation. CPO budget. Okay. CPO, Mr. Edney.
Oh, sorry, you've got it up there. Just wanted to clarify that as we were going through all these, you're also acknowledging the staffing requests too.
CPO staffing requests? Yeah, we did, yeah. CPO staffing requests? Councillor Grant?
Sorry, maybe we can just address the increased level of service at the end as an item for debate. Is that
Sure.
easier? And then we just go through that list of staffing that you have. That is additional staffing.
I don't mind that. So on the list,
Simplify.
let's put increased level of service, staffing. Too broad, Mr. Edney?
No. Thank you, Mayor Dean. I don't think there's anything that's increased level of service. Seasonal, sure. Yeah, for the parks one. But even then, my expectation is that's really to meet what we already have for levels of service. So the discussion would be potentially if you want to reduce those levels of service.
So why don't we just take out the word increased and just level of service? Okay. Councillor Randhawa.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have a question. So then for the RCMP one, so we are accepting those both clerk position as well into the budget? CAO Edney?
Unless, well, can you go back to the list, please, Josh? Scroll up to RCMP. RCMP including clerk positions. Good.
Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Fire services budget. Mr. Edney.
Sorry, it's been a long day. Thank you, Mayor Dean. Just wanted to go back to the item on the list that was level of service staffing. Are you wanting to talk about all the staffing again? Because we've addressed staffing 3 or 4 times in the list previously. I just want to make sure we're prepared of what that discussion is to look like.
I think the short answer, I mean, I count Sir Grandpa for, but and I don't want to speak on behalf, but I think the answer is yes, because I think given that that is the biggest number in our budget, we just want to make sure that we all know what we're getting ourselves into or out of, or what we are involving ourselves with. Councillor Grant?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I assume that even if we are increasing the amount of people, even though it's just maintaining the service level, that has an operational expense, and we should be making sure that we're looking at that because it'll increase the budget no matter what, whether we're increasing the level of service or not. So I think if I'm trying not to say what you said earlier, where we may be looking at a surplus or a deficit in the operational budget, and that's directly related to additional staffing. So that's why I want to talk about it.
Councillor Schindler.
I think I'm hearing what Kent is putting down here. We are already putting individual department staffing requests into the list. And so if we continue to do that, then we will have covered staffing at the individual level, at the individual department level, thoroughly. Do we want to come back and go, okay, now we've decided which ones we want to cut, which ones we want to keep going. Now are we going to talk holistically about all the staffing in general? Because we've just done that.
Yes.
It's sort of doing it twice.
Yep. Because I think because it's our biggest number, it's like what I said before. I want to make sure that we all understand what we're getting into out of, because it's something that we talked about last year, right? Our CAO has brought this forward a couple of times. Last year, we made a decision on levels of service. Then
Correct.
when there was a change in something and we received numerous complaints, our CAO got to the point of, council, this is based on decisions that you made. So I would rather not do that again.
Okay, thank you.
Emergency management budget. Okay. Fire services staffing requests. Is that? I would like to debate on the fire services staffing requests. Oh, that's all right, Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. Based on the presentation earlier today, this emergency management coordinator is something we've removed from the quest for this
thank
year.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that was the presentation I was not here for. Thank you for that. Okay. I kind of feel like the utilities is a separate monster unto itself. So I'm going to skip utilities, which is then going to bring us, I apologize. Oh, excuse me. Which then brings us all the way to, I believe, the library, which is all the way to page 185. And we already have library on there for debate. Okay. Tax and government budget. Okay. Education tax budget. Okay. And that's it. So if I may, I'm going to encourage all of you, I'll start. I want you to go back, council, if you can. Do you have any other notes somewhere on something? So I have some that I just going to pepper our CAO with here and see where these need to be added, if they need to be added, those sorts of things, if that's okay. Or just some really quick points of clarity that I have in my, what some affectionately call my diary. But I just want to go through them here. So really quickly, first of all, Mr. Edney, can you just quickly speak to, so we're seeing some changes in the numbers when it comes to things like CPP, pension, WCP, all those sorts of things. Can you just quickly touch on, I understand this might be more of a Mr. Sheedy thing, but can you just quickly touch on how that's basically the cost of doing business when you have staff, and just quickly touch on how little control basically we have of that as an organization?
Yeah, so thanks, Mayor Dean. So yeah, on that, the government sets all those rates. We have to collect it. It's the law. It's just the cost of doing business. One thing we are expecting this year that hasn't made it into this version of the budget, but we are expecting to see a reduction in contributions to the pension plan, the local authorities pension plan, but that'll be offset by an increase in the rates to CPP and EI that we'll be collecting and submitting on behalf of staff. For clarity too, that's something that comes off every staff member's paycheck, but it's also something that the city pays the employers also pay on the employee's behalf. So we expect that to end up likely being a wash for this year, but this year only because the LAPP is a one-time reduction due to strong performance of their investments.
Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor Dean. I would like to supplement too that for the people that don't necessarily pay attention to the federal budget, there was CPP2 added a year or two ago, and that is an additional CPP expense that is borne by any employer now.
Okay, thank you for that. Second question I had was just some clarity. So when we look at the budget, we see a lot of here's what was proposed for budget 2025. We get the variance updates. When will we see finalized 2025 numbers? Mr. Edney, I'm just gonna leave your mic on because I'm warning you. I'm about to pepper you.
Sure. So traditionally, we don't have like a Q4 variance report. It ends up being the end of year financials, which I'd look to mark would be sometime in March or early April. We'll have those finalized numbers. He's nodding at me. So yeah, sometime in March, early April, before final budget.
Thank you. Under our City of Chestermere budget, we have training and development. Can you just clarify who all is included? I believe it basically includes everybody, but who all is included in the big number that gets rolled up when it comes to training and development?
So we have three distinct training and development budgets. One is for the fire department and all the different things that the fire department does. Council has your own training and development budget, which is under your remuneration policy. And then corporate wide, something we did last year was rolled up every department's individual training into one lump sum. That's $250,000 for the entire organization. So anybody who needs any kind of training, professional development, leadership courses, all that kind of stuff, we have a process that HR uses to administer that. We make sure that any education, any training is relevant to the job that people are doing or the job we may see them doing in here. So we also want to develop people to become leaders and that kind of thing, but we're not going to pay for training that has nothing to do with what they do for the City of Chestermere.
Okay, thank you. I noticed that there was a change in the budget for legal for 2026. Are we expecting to have to spend that much less, or are we expecting to at final budget we may see a change coming back to us?
Thank you, Mayor Dean. We are hoping, I think is the better word. Okay. There were a large number, and I've spoken to this earlier. The golf course was one big item. The purchase of the rec center lands was another item that got added into our budget this year. As well, we had a number of legal issues from previous council and administration time that were in front of us this year that got resolved. So our expectation is not to have to spend as much legal next year. But yeah, we'll have a discussion along the way if something does pop up.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm just going through some of these I had already asked, and then I'll bring forward the rest tomorrow. Yes, that is all I had from preparation for budget meetings. Okay, Councillor Grant.
Thank you, Mayor. I did notice one other staffing request that we didn't identify in the process, and I was looking at that last item that, oh, there it is there. Okay. So do you want to separate the ECDEV officer, or do you want to leave it as part of the level of service for staffing? Because that would probably, I don't know if that's an increased level of service.
I think when it comes to economic development, I'm expecting a very robust discussion that's going to include that.
Sounds good. Thank you.
I think we're going to have a very holistic conversation about economic development tomorrow. Okay. It's all right. I didn't see your mic. I apologize. Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. I believe that position was already removed prior to what's been presented in the budget. So it was an original request similar to the fire department, but it has been moved while we evaluate our efficiencies and options for operations going forward.
Can we scroll back up, please, to capital I don't know if it's roads. Help me. I apologize. We've gone through so much. I don't think anywhere in here we had Aspenmere to Paradise today. And I think that was an item we were looking to debate, or we're not looking now to debate. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, thank you for that reminder. I got like pages of notes here, guys. Like, okay. I think we're good. Okay, any other questions from council for today? Okay. Oh, sorry, Mr. Oh, no, you're good. Okay, so the way then I think tomorrow will play out is we have our regular council meeting at 9. We have a number of items that are going to be covered within our regular council meeting. We'll then break, coming back in the afternoon. And Mr. Edney, do you anticipate a presentation coming from yourself to start tomorrow, or do we anticipate we just go in and we'll go department by department and debate the items according to the list that we've created today? Mr. Edney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Dean. So I think as far as the capital projects debate, there's no new presentation from myself. I will ask the respective managers to try to attend tomorrow afternoon. Again, to be here for questions, that kind of thing, if council has them. When it comes to the operating budget, as we've gone through here, we've noticed some errors or some things that needed to be changed. For example, in health and safety, if you remember, we had missed a person and double counted revenue. So I'll make those changes. Those are just clerical changes. So I can do a quick presentation before we talk operating to just sort of say, here's where we're at after some of those small changes. And whether we get to that tomorrow or then go into the following Tuesday, I'll do my best to have that ready.
Okay. Okay. And then we will just create the motions as we're going then for tomorrow and vote and then come up with a number. And so, okay, I think we have a plan for tomorrow moving forward. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, please? Unless final opportunity, final comments or questions from council? Great. Can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting, Councillor Randhawa?
Thank you, Your Worship. I move that the council adjourn the special meeting of council at 3:38 p.m.
Comments, questions from council? Call for the vote. And that's carried unanimously. Thanks, everybody. See you tomorrow.